Well, hey YouTube, welcome back to another episode of Airguns of Alaska. I'm just out here doing a little bit of target shooting with one of my favorite guns. Featured it on the channel many times, my Daisy Model 753. I'm shooting at 20 yards and I'm using one of the Beeman targets that I got back in the 80s, and I just keep making copies of the same target. This one happens to be for 10 meters. So I'm shooting it roughly twice the distance, just goofing around. But I got a special treat for you guys. Oh, I already pumped it. The 1986 Beeman Airgun catalog. It just came in the mail and I haven't read it yet. And I thought, well, why don't I go outside and shoot a little bit and then read my new catalog and savor the moment. And then I'll put a little video together and share it with you guys. All right, let's take a look at that catalog. Well, all right, guys, here we are. This is edition 14 of the 1986 Beeman Precision Air Guide. So these catalogs in the 80s had quite an impact on me. It actually got me into buying some of my first expensive air gun. I don't know that if I had this 86 edition. I think mine were a couple years earlier, but they've been lost to time. So here we are in the inset, showing a number of different air guns. And then that's Robert Beeman and his wife, and he goes ahead and talks about his company and his philosophy. This catalog, there's so much information packed in here. It actually has a table of contents. And I spent an hour reading through here, and I didn't even come close to reading everything. It's really a pretty good resource. Naturally, it is biased towards the types of air guns he's selling, but he makes a case as to why you should be getting into precision air guns. On this page, you can go through and just kind of read through what his reasoning for everything. This was really interesting, the 3 basic types of air guns. And he talks about spring piston, pneumatic, and CO2 guns. Then there's no mention of gas ram style in here, or PCP. And I don't know if in 86 that gas ram was in existence or not. And I don't remember PCPs back then. One of the things I thought was pretty interesting, he really pushes the brake barrel guns. And with these under levers, he talks about having some kind of, what did he describe it as? A tap loader. And apparently a lot of the underlever guns back then sounds like, or fixed barrel guns anyway, like your typical 880 that you had the bolt and you shove the pellet forward. And it was, there was a desire that you could actually access the end of that you could access the breech and push the pellet in with your finger. You had more control over the quality of it, and it talks about how it engages the rifling and stuff. He talks about side cocking, side lever guns here, and then pneumatic guns. He goes into that pump pneumatics are now almost entirely an American phenomenon. And he mentions Crossman, Benjamin, Sheridan, Daisy Powerline. but he says that the pump pneumatics are generally disfavored in Europe. And he goes on and on about the pros and cons, mainly the cons against them. And something he mentions, which I thought was interesting, he talked about how when you pump up air, you compress it and it has heat, and that it dissipates into the metal of the gun and you lose power. I thought that was interesting. Really cool cutaway here of, is it the R9 that he's showing? Yeah, the paper and everything in his catalog's very high quality. Like I say, there was so much information packed into this catalog. It was really amazing. It goes into caliber selection, and he starts talking about the advantages of 5mm, which I thought was interesting. Airgun ballistics, the accuracy. And what I can do is, maybe at the end of the video I could just post some pictures of the pages, then you guys can pause the screen and read them. Maybe that'll be the best way for this. Airgun selection guide. And then, oh, this is talking about for selecting guns that he sells out of the catalog. Kind of funny. Yeah, his pistols here, and then pictures some different pellets there. Oh, yeah, the one part I want to get to would be kind of funny. So Airgun comparison table kind of gives you what the abbreviations are. And then look at this imported Airgun comparison table. Got your weight, cocking effort, muzzle velocity. Really cool. Even down to the rifling grooves. Now I love this. How do you say it? Viral. Viral. Fine Verkabau. So I thought that was kind of cool. I wish they had Meisterkugling tell me how to pronounce that. Even got a conversion table. Oh, field use. And I don't know if I really read through this part that much. Oh, maybe I did. I say there was so much to read. Oh, look at this table right here. How your muzzle energy drops off. That's really cool. Huh. How neat. It's just so cool. Everything's like right in this catalog. Oh, then he talked about going overseas and talking about the factories. This camera focus. There's an H&N factory. Oh, it's kind of a overhead or aerial, kind of an oblique shot of the buildings. Oh, there you go. So it's in the Viral factory. And talks about how they insist on local quality or local control of their quality. Making barrels. Oh, I didn't even read this far. Japanese connection. Just, let's see, this thing's packed full of information. Oh, there we go. They were talking about the fine Verkabau. I think these are the target guns. And here you guys go. Probably more what you're interested in. As we're looking at the different target air guns. There's another one. Oh, this is a single stroke pneumatic. Kind of neat. It's kind of funny, the pictures aren't even in color. Color was expensive back then. Look at that. There's your peep sights that they put on these. So this is HW55. Then they had custom grade guns, and they can do something like this, give you a little storage thing. Beeman, find Verkabau 124 and 127. I don't know anything about that particular gun. Oh, here's the R1. It's now in a super efficient flat shooting 5mm. Lifetime warranty, or was it lifetime factory authorized backing? I wonder how that all works now. I've got that part on my Model 36 Diana. Ah, here's my dad's gun that I got from him. The Beeman Webley Vulcan 2. Somebody wrote me and told me it was a Vulcan 2, and here it is. And you can see the specs there. 830 in 0.177. And then the Beeman Webley Omega. 830 and 177. Maybe it was in one of the articles further back, they talked about Webley and how they switched to just make, or yeah, Webley switching to just making air guns, at least back then in the 80s. So the R10, the world's highest velocity production precision air rifle, breaks 1,000 feet per second barrier. And it was pretty neat. Oh, there you go. So 5mm shooting 930. In the accuracy part, one of the articles earlier, he talks about velocity and what actually works best for certain pellet and target rifles, and that was pretty interesting. Beeman HW77. I always liked this one. I thought this was a pretty cool looking gun. Maybe it was just because of this light and handy. Maybe I thought that was neat. Here's the R7, simply the world's finest light sporter and target air rifle. Now, isn't the R7, isn't that the HW30, I thought? And this one says it's putting out 650 feet per second. And mine is putting out 600. Look like the same rear sight that mine has. Oh, and there you go. You get a micrometer. Looks like a Williams sight. The R8. Oh, there's your inserts. The FX1 and FX2, these were like the best value, it says, in economy air rifles. Yeah, I'll show you the price guide. They weren't cheap. Actually, nothing in here is cheap. All right, here we go. Look at this. Now we're into the American air guns. So here's the Sheridan. And talks about how many pumps you would use. And then it talks about the pellets shooting through 1-inch piece of dry pine because they're really hard. And then it talked about how they don't expand. And then he actually adds up the amount of pounds it takes to pump it up. He wasn't a big proponent, this catalog's not a big proponent of pneumatics, I've noticed. Which they're trying to make a case for importing expensive European air guns, which was cool. I mean, I still need reading all the information here. Here's a Benjamin, I think this is a 342. The Walther LGR, which I don't know I don't know anything about. Single stroke pneumatic. This is, I'd like to get one of these someday. They were expensive then, though. They're made in Japan, the Sharp models. I think it'd be kind of cool just to have one. But it seems like this one, the plastic breech starts to crack on it. Just have problems. These look like target guns. I'm not really into the target guns, so I'm just kind of, this is already getting to be a really long video. Oh, and then he actually goes into firearms, which I didn't know he made firearms. I don't remember that, so I must not have paid attention when I was a kid. Oh, and then you had in here, July 15th of 1986. You had this little special, oh, it's a shooter news. Kind of reminds me of shotgun news. I guess, and here you got prices on stuff. And you basically, with inflation, times it by 3. Hey, none of these guns were cheap. Like that R1 was $1,000 some when I did inflation calculator on it. And I'm like, holy moly. You have things pretty good. I guess I thought stuff was really expensive now. Has a bunch of scopes. Was it? Yeah, now in 5mm. Oh, here we go. Look at the pellets. Still have some of these brands, or some of these type out there. Maybe they're all out there, I don't know. But it's kind of neat showing the different kinds of pellets. There's my Beeman pellet seat that I bought. So now you figure that'd be like $21 nowadays. And I have that on my Model 36 Diana. So it was 1975 back then. Or who knows, I think I bought mine in 84, 85, but probably pretty similar in price. And then you can get blemished guns to save a little bit of money. Oh, and clothing, sweaters.
Ooh, I want one.
But yeah, here's all the prices for things. And I think the yeah, there's your Sheridan Blue Streak at 100-155, so you could go do inflation calculator. So it's around $300. That Sharp Ace, whoa, that was an expensive gun. Wow, dang, that would have been almost a $1,000 gun. $900 gun, and a Nova was $175. So yeah, nothing's really cheap here. I guess the Sheridan, though, where was the Benjamin? I found that. Well, there's the 342, $96, so it's just under $300. Seems like I bought my 397 at Kmart for $200, and buy that in the 90s? I don't remember now. Well, this kind of, oh, there you go, more pellet choices. I always thought this gun was kind of cool looking, but it was very expensive, so I was never interested. I was going to buy it. And it's got a shoulder stock. And then he shows it with a scope, which I was thinking, that looks like it really would be kind of awkward to cock it. One of my buddies had one of these. I think it was this little guy. And it cocked from the, yeah, just like that. And I thought it was kind of an awkward gun to shoot. Or to cock, I should say, to cock. I have a cheap, junky Chinese version of this. I don't like it. I'm sure the original is probably much nicer. And then he's got some pneumatic. Oh, it's a CO2. Sheridan CO2. Surprised he has a CO2 gun in here. And then there's a Benjamin pump gun. And this record jumbo makes a case that everybody should have one. I don't know. 4-inch groups at 25 feet. That doesn't sound like it'd be too fun to have. But oh, this was kind of interesting. So it goes into the optics. And it has a specification table there, and I don't remember stuff like this. Look at that, showing them on different kinds of assault rifles, like an AR-15, and he mentions a bunch of the HK styles. And he's got an MP5 here, and that's his, like an MP5, or yeah, it's an MP5, and an Uzi. I think because of that's a car 16. I didn't know there's a car 16, a Gali. Kind of neat. I didn't know that they that he had entered that market. And it could be because this is 86, and maybe I didn't have any of the catalogs past 85. Oh, aperture sights. So many cool things that a guy could go through here, and if you want to buy. Pretty detailed pictures, though. You know, this isn't a cheap catalog. I think it's funny, you know, that I don't remember getting them in the mail for free. I think I actually had to send away to, back when I had my catalogs, I think I actually spent money to get a catalog. It's just kind of funny to me. So holsters. Oh, then care and feeding of your airgun. And this was pretty interesting. And it talked about the type of oil you're supposed to use and what to do, and cleaning your barrel, being careful not to hurt the rifling in it, and yeah, lots of information. Almost done here, guys. Hopefully, I don't want this. I guess it's going to be a long video. That's what these these page flipping ones are. Different cleaning rods. Different cleaning supplies. He had like everything. You could just be. Well, you get your Beeman. Well, I think, did we already pass that? Anyway, the clothing. You could be just like a Beeman guy. Oh, this little Pell sizer. The universal muzzle brake. I remember it kind of had that sleeve. It fit my my Model 36. This is interesting. It had a big write-up on the Pell seat. And I kind of thought I was using it right. Then I thought I was using it wrong, but you do use that end to smooth out the skirts. So I was using it correctly. And you get it stuck, you push it down in there so engage the rifling for better accuracy. Kind of cool. I wonder if they still make that Pell seat or not. And this is the McQuire pellet mold. I was thinking, was it that one show? I don't think it was in the, was that in the 90s? MacGyver? I don't know, maybe it's just not a, I was just wondering if that was a play on words there. Yeah, that just looks freaking goofy to me. That looks stupid too.
Ooh, I like that gun.
Oh, where have I seen those?
What? You're kidding me.
And the Olympics with that one Turkish guy shooting, I didn't even know this stuff was. That was all new to me. And here in '86, they had those goofy looking glasses people would wear. This is super neat. He's got an ad in here. If old antique Airguns, he's interested, you write him and let him know in your best price. And there was his estate had an auction, sold a whole bunch of his Airguns. Well, I don't think it was maybe last summer, or was it the summer before? And here's targets, and my target doesn't show up on here. I was a little bit disappointed, so I must have got it earlier. Yeah, this one uses wood, and I thought, oh, and mine would be chewed up and would look terrible if I had bought that. Austrian wood targets? Wow, that's... I don't know how much that would be. The silhouettes. I know I had silhouettes. I don't know if I remember if I bought them from Beeman or not. Maybe. I don't know. Now you can get them at Walmart. You know, all in the pellets. Kind of cool. Yeah, I guess it doesn't... Yeah, you have to go through the price list. Which I guess makes sense. This is a lot of money in this catalog. So you just have the, well, it did have the price list in the center of it. Yeah, then lead balls. Now it pulls out all the stops for 5mm. That's pretty neat. I talked about CO2s and painted CO2 cartridges, which I've never seen before. And talking about the paint flaking off and getting into your valve, the paint flakes. Oh wow, there you go. Pellet comparison table. Let's say, oh, then you got different literature, and then descriptions of it. More and more books. Well, then upgrade parts. I don't know. It's like, gosh, I already spent so much on one of their guns that you're going to want to go and spend more money to upgrade it. But maybe, I don't know. And then look at this thing. I've never heard of this. I don't remember this. The combo magnum sling. And you could fire arrows. And look at this crazy guy. Like he's ready for zombies. These little tiny stubby arrows. And then the longbow sling could shoot full-size arrows. Like, okay. Kind of strange. And then this chest, and they talk about, even back then they were complaining about how things were, you know, changing. And where was it? There's something about thermoplastics. And anyway, you guys can find it on there. I'm looking through it on my phone, and don't imagine that thing is cheap. Oh, we're at the end. You get a Beeman teddy bear, Beeman belt buckle, patches, a little pewter thing. And then here's the adult airgun center and the end of the book here. Oh, that's a weird looking thing. I don't know what that is, that gun. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed that. That was long, and I don't really know how to be entertaining just looking at the pages. So I'll just put this up, post it, see how many people are interested. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.